The Europeans are not going to like this one, but the answer is no. I don't really see myself living in Europe anymore. And when I do, there are only a few countries that I would consider. The majority of them are in the Balkans or in the UK. But having lived in 3 European countries and traveled all around Europe multiple times, the biggest reason why I am not interested in Europe anymore has to do with the European attitude and the social culture that exists in a lot of European countries. I'm going to come out and say it, but Western Europe, the area that people overwhelmingly romanticize, is actually the least desirable place in Europe for me to live. I went to go live in Palestine from 2020 to 2021, and the reason why living there changed my life is because I realized that it actually matters that I live around friendly people. It matters that I am given respect when I go out on the street minding my business, and that the people who are around me are happy and welcoming and accommodating people. I find that there is a serious lack of respect in a lot of European societies, and it's not just for foreigners, it's for each other as well. When I tell you guys the amount of negative experiences I've had with strangers in my life, every single one of them was in Europe. I think that there are a lot of miserable people. The majority of European societies are very individualistic and not communal at all. And you can see it in how people are competing with one another, how people treat one another, and how people treat foreigners and people who don't look like them. The few times I felt like I was living in a country that was overwhelmingly happy and welcoming was when I lived in Croatia for a couple of months, or when I went to Greece. But the allure in other European societies, particularly in the West, as I stated, does not exist for me. The arrogance is crazy. People are condescending to you. Even if you speak their language, people are incredibly fucking rude. And the normalization of racism, but the denial of it is unbearable. I think that because Americans over-romanticize Europe, a lot of Europeans internalize this idea that they're the most modern and advanced continent on the planet, when they clearly aren't regarding things like technology and infrastructure. And I just believe that Americans contribute to this overinflated European ego that also tends to feed their racism and thinking they're better than everybody else, especially if you're a person of color. They also use immigrants as a crutch and scapegoat for everything that's wrong with their countries and societies, and refuse to acknowledge the problematic nature and history of a lot of their countries. There is a reason why so many people have issues making friends in Europe. Of course, I'm not one of them because a lot of my friends were first or second generation. But after living in Western Europe particularly, the desire to be in Europe long term largely cleared for me. And the reason why I ended up living in Hungary was because my ex-partner was from there. And even though Hungary has to be one of the most fucked up countries in the world, I still found the sociability in this country a lot better than what I experienced in Western Europe. And still doesn't even come close to what I experienced when I was living in Palestine or from people in the Caribbean, Latin America, and South America. I need people to be nice and friendly at minimum. And so right now, no. I would move to Europe if I was guaranteed to make more money there than I do right now in the States. And that's just it. But long term, I'm not looking towards Europe.